presented by Supercuts. Download, subscribe, and review ESPN Daily, available wherever you get your podcasts. And, it's time for something here. We got Key's Real Rankings.
How many rankings we got this time?
Well, we're going to recap my real ranking from Friday, Jay, of the teams that in free agency that are better now than they were at the start of free agency based on that. So we're going to start off with number 9. The Chargers sit at 9. The New Orleans Saints are at 8 based on Simon Jameis Winston back. The Cincinnati Bengals are at 7. Lyle Collins goes over there from the Cowboys. The Bills are at 6. The Chiefs are at 5. The Browns are at 4. The Packers are at 3. The Bucks are at 2. And the Rams are at 1. I got the Bills at 6, Jay, because I thought the bringing in Von Miller certainly kicked them up a little bit, but losing Brian Dable certainly hurt the offensive side of the ball as far as I'm concerned. The Browns are at 3, even though when you look at it, they lost players, but they gained the one in Aaron Rodgers because technically he was a free agent. So that's kind of the list. We're going to bat it around. And Browns are sitting at 4 because of the Amari Cooper, Deshaun Watson trades, so to speak.
So many questions. So first of all, everyone should know, and correct me if I'm wrong, Key, I like the way you do these because everyone likes a round number. Who are the 5? Who are the 10? And the way Key does it, it's like it's not an arbitrary number because you like it. It's an even number or something. Yeah. It's the number before the drop-off.
Many other shows will start doing that across the land, I'm sure.
Yeah, by the way, it's the right way to do it. Don't make it arbitrary. Make it like here are the 9 that this pertains to. After that, it falls off. There's no point doing it. That's the first thing. But so many questions. First of all, there's no AFC teams in the top 3. Everyone's talking about the AFC. Then, are the Browns really the best team in the AFC right now?
Let Key address one question at a time. Let's go through one. Key, why no AFC teams in the top 3? Like, how are the Packers in the top 3? Who is Aaron Rodgers throwing the ball to?
It doesn't matter to me because it's Aaron Rodgers. I've seen that in the past. Devontae Adams has not been there. And if you want to call it a small sample size, they are 7-0 without Devontae Adams in the lineup. The offense was built around Aaron Rodgers. So I know that Aaron Rodgers can go and make receivers. Look, man, MVS got paid because he was with Aaron Rodgers, okay? Randall Cobb went from playing quarterback to playing receiver and got paid because he was with Aaron Rodgers when it was his time to get paid when he left Green Bay. Jordy Nelson got paid because he was with Aaron Rodgers. St. Brown Equinemius got paid because he was with Aaron Rodgers. And I can go on and on and on about Aaron Rodgers, quarterback, and his receivers. So I don't worry about that, though, Jay, right now. I really don't.
So, meantime, why don't you have any AFC teams in the top 3? In the top 3, I get the Rams and the Bucks, even the 2, but you ain't got anyone in the top 3, Key.
Well, because I think Green Bay, to me, is a better football team. I watched them without Aaron Rodgers going to Kansas City with Jordan Love in a dogfight. So I look at that, right? I look at Buffalo Bills losing their offensive coordinator and Brian Dable and Ken Dorsey now becoming the offensive coordinator, hasn't ever called plays. I look at the Cincinnati Bengals. That's whatever you want to call it, Max. I know you are like a trained Max Kellerman puppy Chihuahua style when it comes to Joe Burrow.
Well, it's got to be a Chihuahua. Yeah.
Well, I mean, it's always barking. You know, little Chihuahuas always.
So more like a pit bull. I lock on and I never get off.
It takes a guy with the little dogs to know what little dogs sound like. FYI.
Well, first of all, now here I go.
Are they with you?
I'm gonna stay on topic. I'm gonna be just like Chris Rock. I'm not gonna pay any attention to the negativity. And at number 9,
bing bong.
At number 9, the number 9 team is the Los Angeles Chargers. Justin Herbert's never been to the playoffs. I understand the Khalil Mack trade. The defense has gotten better. Brandon Staley, to me, cost them 3, maybe even 4 games last year. To me, analytics. So when I look at all of that, and then Lamar Jackson was hurt. I don't like their passing game. They certainly didn't get better in the offseason. Who else would I be missing out on? Miami does nothing for me in the AFC. So who else would I be? New England is just New England.
I think people would say, I think to me, Key, the argument would be I know the Bengals had a soft schedule last year. They got a tough
I
one
don't care
this
about
year.
the schedule. You play who you play.
They added to the off. They went to the Super Bowl. They added to the offensive line. You got them 7. That's one. I think another one is the Bills, who I know I'm with you about Dable, no question. But a lot of people would be higher on the Bills,
coaches.
and then the Chiefs
And assistant coaches.
Yeah.
When you lose, here's what I'm gonna say about the Bills. When you lose a coordinator on offense and some of that staff, it affects the team the next year. No team loses an offensive coordinator who was an orchestra of something and replaces him with a young guy who's never, ever called plays before, and then all of a sudden, they're in the same position that they're in again. We'll have this conversation in October and November, and I will certainly, at 7:22 today, remember this conversation. The Bills are not going to be what you think they're going to be, even though they got Josh Allen.
My only gripe is just about I don't know how many games that Deshaun Watson is going to be suspended for the Browns.
I'm assuming
and to have them fourth right now, like I would have the Chiefs ahead of the Browns.
I'm assuming that if we go off the calculations of something sort of similar with Ben Roethlisberger, and Ben Roethlisberger got 6-4, let's give him 8-6, and they can somehow figure out how to go 3-3, even though we don't know the schedule, the makeup of the schedule, so don't chime in, Evan, is that they can be 3-3. I give them that. I think that, who did they sign? They signed the backup, not Case Keenum. They just brought him in, Jacoby Brissett. I would think that Jacoby Brissett could take them and get him to 3-3. And with that being said, I really don't know how good the division is. Pittsburgh, are they really going to be a good team?
And be 500.
You know,
at least.
What is Baltimore? Does Baltimore finally hit a wall where you look up and it's like, oh my God, they're not what we thought they were? Because they haven't addressed anything that made you feel that way.
I'm surprised by this, actually, out of you. I understand your. I like
you make it seem like I'm a bad kid or something.
No.
I'm surprised at you.
No. I'm talking about here's what I mean. I think that your analysis is usually well thought out, and I think that your arguments are persuasive.
To not being well thought out.
As opposed to right now, it doesn't sound well thought out now.
If I can get to it, as I find your arguments persuasive about the Bills and Dable, about even the Chiefs. They lost Tyreek Hill. Let's wait and see. They weren't always great this last year, right? The Bengals. I get the arguments. I get the arguments for the NFC and Aaron Rodgers. But when you look at this is what I'm focusing on. The AFC North, Tomlin and Harbaugh are both competitive coaches who generally have their teams competing week to week, season to season. It's hard for me to imagine they're going to just have bad teams, even if they don't have great years. What's that going to be? 9-8, something like that. And then you have the Bengals, who are the defending champs of the conference. So for you to just kind of be like, well, even if the division, in other words, isn't what we think it's going to be, that ain't no cupcake. That's a tough division, Key.
Yeah,
I mean.
It is, but when you look at Baltimore, they didn't make the playoffs. You do understand that. No matter how hard or Harbaugh or how tough Harbaugh's been and how much.
A ton of injuries.
Hold on one sec, though, Jay. They had a ton of injuries, there's no question, right? But those injuries ain't healed. Those injuries, they still got to wait to see what those players are going to be. They didn't address the one position that we continue to talk about for Lamar Jackson. We continue to talk about it. The receiver position, they've yet to address it.
Okay.
What are they what's the running back situation going to look like? They had the best running backs of the class of 2012 on their roster. All them dudes, all them running backs they had. Old dudes, Murray and those guys. Like, come on, man.
Yeah, okay. So I hear that. That, again, argues to me they might not be as good as people think, but I don't see them as bad teams. And then you flip it around to the Browns. I hear your reasoning, too, about Deshaun. Well, I'm going to base it on what's happened in the past. I'm going to give him an extra few games. He'll knock that down to about 6. And then Brissett might go 3-3, or he might go 2-4, or, something like that.
Yeah,
so
2-4,
I think
3-3.
You're a little optimistic about what Brissett's going to be and a little pessimistic about the rest of the division, and that's how we're arriving with the Browns as the best team in the AFC.
But Amari Cooper's really good. Kareem Hunt, last I checked, was really good.
Really good.
I mean, Garrett on the other side, defensively, was really good. Shut down corner and Ward was really good. So I look at their offensive line, really good. So when I look at all that, with a quarterback that they're going to want to play for. This is what I think we are missing. they're going to want to play for this dude when he steps on the field. That's just the brotherhood in the locker room in the National Football League. So they're getting something.
My last little thing here,
Go ahead.
I think it's going to make
Very
Max
little.
bark like a bigger dog than a little chihuahua, is, when I say the name Justin Herbert, Max goes crazy.
Yeah.
I know you put a lot of stock into Jameis Winston. I know the relationship there with the Saints. Your nephew doing his thing. I get it. But, the Chargers seem to me like they are loaded this year. And I don't know how you have the Saints ranked ahead of the Chargers when, obviously, the Chargers, Khalil Mack on the defensive side of the ball, J.C. Jackson. You think what they have offensively, Keenan Allen, Mike Williams, Austin Eckler. And Justin Herbert's having a big year. How do you have the Saints ranked ahead of them?
Well, because I look at where the Chargers are in their division, which is a tough division. I think we all could agree to that.
Yep.
The Saints are not in a tough division. They got the one thing that they needed back in free agency. Mind you, this is all based on free agency. This is not based on a power ranking at the beginning of the season. This is all based on free agency. Okay. I'll reiterate that again and say it. They got the one thing that they needed was a quarterback. They tried to get Deshaun Watson to the New Orleans Saints. It didn't work out. So they went ahead and said, we're going to sign Jameis back. Yes, my nephew is coming back, and he's coming back fully healthy. For those people out there that think he is done and can't play. So you get that. Alvin Kamara's coming back. The defense is solid.